Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We are here with the second part of the December daily-ish folio type thing I'm making for your December pictures, or really for whatever you want. So in the last video we did the cover, and I decided that I'm going to do probably the majority of them recorded, and I'll do maybe the matting live. I think it'll just be easier for everyone, so that way you can stop and pause and whatnot. So we did our cover, which at the last video I thought it worked out, and then I realized I can't really add a lot of stuff to the two cover flaps, and I should have made one extra flap, but we're gonna make it work. Okay, so this is what our cover looked like, and now we're gonna work on the flap on the left side. Okay. So this little booklet is going to go on the left side here. So I needed one in white cardstock for a paper collection that I think I want to use, and I also need one in black for a different paper collection. So I didn't want to limit myself to which collection to use, so I went ahead and did the white cardstock off camera, and then I will do the black cardstock on camera, and then that way I don't have any measurement errors or anything like that. Because I know we love lives, but sometimes having the wrong measurement is a little bit annoying, especially if you don't have that much paper. So there you go. Alright, so we're going to work on this left side booklet, and so essentially it's going to come like this. Then when you open it up, you'll have this page, which folds to the left, folds to the right, and it has a waterfall. Now, the waterfall option, you can continue to make it, add more pieces to go all the way down to the bottom. I stopped with 4 waterfall pieces because I want to be able to add a full 4x6 photo here in the middle, which I have one right here. So see how it works out perfectly. The full 4x6 fits right there. Okay, so let's get started with this. One's going to be fairly quick. So what we need is, the base is going to be 5 1/4 by 7 3/4, which I'm just going to go ahead and cut I'm using 12 by 12 paper, because that's what I have in the thicker black. The white was 8 1/2 by 11, so... Alright, so I'm going to do the 7 3/4 first, and then 5 1/4. Okay, so that's going to be our base page. You can mark these with your measurements with a pencil if you want. 5 1/4 by 7 3/4, because you're going to mat it anyway, so... That's how I keep up with it. And then this other next piece you're going to need is 5 3/4 by 7 3/4. So you should be able to... There you go. And then this one needs to be scored at 1/2 inch on the short side. So I just use my paper trimmer. You can use your scoreboard if you want. So again, this measurement was 5 3/4 by 7 3/4, scored 1/2 inch on the 5 3/4 side. Okay. And actually, we needed 2 pieces by that size. That's fine. Okay, so we need another piece that's that size. I'm going to go ahead and cut mine down to the 7 3/4. There's not really a paper saving way on the 12 by 12 papers. unfortunately, but it is what it is. And I just popped out my paper trimmers. Okay, so 7 3/4, and then 5 3/4. Okay, scored at a half on the short side. Okay. So there are my two, should be identical. Okay, and then trim. Okay, so for these two pieces that we just cut, the 5 3/4 by 7 3/4, we do need to trim off the tiniest sliver off the side, so that way when you're folding your flaps, they will fold in the book. Like right here, this is what I'm talking about. Because if you don't trim it, it's a tight fit. So I trimmed off more than 1/8 of an inch on the first flap, and then I did just 1/8 of an inch on the second flap. The 1/8 of an inch is fine. Whatever you want to trim off, you just need a sliver. I just trim off the width of my the tan, or whatever color this is, strip of my cutting board. I think it's 1/8 of an inch, but it's just a tiny little piece off. And you will fill yours out however you want. This is just how I want mine. And mine wasn't exactly straight, but so I'm just fixing that. There we go. So tiny you can't even get it off. And then this next one, it's probably too much. Just a tiny, tiny sliver off. You can measure it like I was just doing here. Here's the 5 3/4. I just moved over to this tick mark right here and just trimmed that much off. So they're about the same. One's a little bit shorter. Doesn't matter. Okay, and then, see, that's why I have the notes. And then we're going to do our waterfall. So our waterfall is going to be 5 1/8 by 5 1/2. So let's see what these measure out to be. I had a ruler right here, so I would easily have it, and now I don't know what I do with it. There, let me find it. Alright, so we're going to have to get another sheet of paper for these because they are too short, but that's okay. We'll definitely use these pieces somehow in this folio. Alright, so 5 1/2 by, what did I say? 5 1/8. Alright, so 5 1/2 by 5 1/8. So 1, and 2. These just seem awfully big, but I guess, yeah, that is my measurement, isn't it? Okay. Didn't trust myself there. And then again, 5 1/2. By 5 1/8. And 5 1/8. Okay. I'm gonna toss these scraps. Okay. Just trying to see which side I scored on. So I put in, I said on the short side, but I don't think that's the short side I scored on. But let me see here. Yep. So on the 5.5 side, we need to score at 1/2 inch. Let me just make sure. Yep. All right. So on the 5.5 side, I knew that was wrong. On the 5.5 side, that's the one you want to score your 1/2 inch at. Okay. So put your 5.5 up top, and then score at 1/2 inch. I guess it really doesn't matter. You'll make it fit either way, right? Alright, that's all the scoring and trimming we're going to need right now. So we need our bone folder. You want your corner rounder or your ticket stub, or if you want to leave it straight, you can leave it straight. I'm probably going to corner round mine. But you can do it at this point, or you can wait. It's a little bit harder when you wait and when you have everything attached, but if you have the corner chompers like these, that We Are Memory Keepers, you're fine. It'll go through just fine. So we'll see. I'm going to keep mine straight for right now. I haven't decided if I want a paper stub or a corner round. Alright, so let's go ahead and attach our pieces. And so we're going to need our base pieces. Let's put our waterfall to the side. We need our base piece and our 2 flaps. So let's go ahead and varnish. There. And there. Okay. We're going to apply our tape or our wet glue. I'm going to use sport tape. I need to find my scissors. Okay. And I need to find my had to find my little chiseler. Alright, so let's go ahead and add tape. It's going to be on the outside of your flat. If you put your tape on the wrong side, we haven't decorated, so you can just easily flip it over. It'll be fine. Okay, so there's that. And sometimes the flaps will go on top of the base, sometimes the flap will go under the base. It's really just however I'm feeling. Alright, so we're going to attach our 5 3/4 by 7 3/4 flats to the left and right side of our base. You can attach it whatever method you like. You're just an eyeball and go, or you're a line up and pull tape. Up to you. And both. So it just depends on what I'm feeling. All right, so there's one flap. And there's the other flap. Oh, seriously, let's put that one on upside down. Make sure everything is lined up. Let's see that edge. Fail. And that is why sometimes I don't like that method, because I was holding right where that tape needed to be. Okay. Make sure that's varnished in there. Make sure your flat's completely closed and the look you want it to. Now we're going to add our waterfall. Waterfalls, I love the look of them, but they can be a little frustrating because if you don't line them up, they can be a little bit wonky. So you have to pay more attention to waterfalls. I'm just going to go ahead and add the tape to all 4 of my waterfalls. If you're doing glue, you'll have wiggle room to move your waterfalls and match them up. But I'm doing tape today. Okay. Making sure you have that good adhesion. Alright, so making sure there's no overhang on your flaps, and you are just going to line it up as best as you can, giving it, you know, just about 1/8 of an inch between the 2 score marks. You don't want to go on the score mark, you want to be away from the score marks, and just kind of center it as best as you can. It's kind of hard to see with black paper, but when you guys do yours, you'll see it. Okay, that's where I want mine. So you see here, it's beside the 2 score lines. There's plenty of room. Now we're going to do our second one. We need to line it up with not only the base, but we also need to make sure that the flaps are going to line up. And that looks like it will. Okay. So we're even on both sides of my flaps. They line up perfectly. We're just going to continue with the other 2. And again, if you want your waterfall to go all the way down to the bottom, just continue to add more waterfall pages. Okay, that's fine. And I have one more. Okay. Do this one a little bit backwards, but that's okay. Perfect. And some of them this one I did have to overlap just slightly because, I don't know, somewhere down the line I got a little wonky, but I want my flaps to completely match. So if you put that first one wonky, they all need to be wonky. Okay, so that is all we are going to do for the left side. We're not going to attach it or anything just yet. Not car cover just yet. But when it's all attached, and it will look like this. Fold out, and immediately have a waterfall. All right, thanks for watching this series, guys. Stay tuned for more. Bye.